Today I want to go over one of my favorite movements for glutes, and that's going to be the Jefferson squat, but I'm performing on the pit shark. Now, if you don't know what the traditional Jefferson squat is, it's a movement where you have a barbell in between your legs as you're trying to come down, keeping your chest up, your back straight, not rounding, but keeping the posture all the way down to your full stretch, pausing for a second, pushing up, squeezing your glutes, then you go back down. The problem with that movement is it is very difficult to keep yourself in the perfect position and make everything technically sound, especially if you're not mobile. This way is a lot more efficient in terms of being able to make sure that everything is technically sound without worrying too much on upper body posture because you're not holding on to anything in terms of trying to keep it between your legs, all right? We're still gonna hold on to this because we're gonna use this as a guide, not to pull up and down on, but just to make sure we're aligned. But at the end of the day, this movement is about range of motion. So if you did it with a barbell, I've seen people do it with 45s, which is crazy because there's no stretch. Then with 25s and with 10s, and the movement's effective, but on the pit shark, you're not gonna get any deeper in the pit shark because as long as it doesn't touch, you're getting full range of motion. An old tip, when you're doing any squat or any movement on the pit shark, use the smaller carabiners. The smaller carabiners might allow for 1 or 2 inches range of motion, and that might be what you need to not touch, right? So how to perform the Jefferson squat in the pit shark. First, what we're gonna focus on is when we line our feet up, we're gonna use this cutout here, and my lead foot is gonna be about 2 inches from the inside. My other foot, I'm gonna fix a 90-degree angle. When I look down, I want my groin to be almost right all the way back where this last notches. Now, like I talked about in the pit shark squat for your quads, the farther forward we lock in, the more it's gonna pull us forward. We don't want that. We do want the energy transfer behind us to our glutes. So we are always gonna go in the last notch here, okay? Second thing, as I go down and unlock my hips, I'm trying to keep as much pressure in my heels as possible while abducting my legs, pushing my knees out, okay? That's very, very important. If you just stand up, put your hand on your abductors, on your glutes, and you turn your foot out, you can feel your glutes kind of turn on in a sense, okay? So when you're doing this movement and you're in this 90-degree angle, you're pushing your knees out as if you're on the abductor machine. You know, when you go out and you feel that contraction in the glute, that's what we're gonna focus on here while we're squatting, and that's what's gonna make the difference in this movement. So I'm gonna come down at my stance, I'm gonna hook in. Once I hook in, I'm gonna grab this, again, not to pull, just use as a guide. Now, when I go to pick this up, I'm gonna come forward, scoop my hips forward, pick the weight up, because this entire movement, I want you to try to keep my hips forward. I don't wanna be back here, I wanna be here, because that's gonna transfer my energy straight down into my glutes. So chest up, back straight, break. I'm gonna come down into my stretch position, pushing my knees out hard the entire time. Weights on my heels, good pause, I feel it in my glutes, full stretch, all the way up, squeeze, right back down, pulse reps. All the way down, pushing my knees out, heel pressure, but toes are still on the ground. Good pause, all the way up, squeeze, right back down. Again, controlled, chest is up, keeping our hips forward, pushing our knees out, weights in the heels, full stretch, good pause, all the way up, squeeze.